Hi, I'm Ashley, or Miss L, as my students call me. I teach at Liberty Middle School in Spanaway, Washington. I teach special education resource at middle school level. I teach mostly co-tots, but I also teach social emotional classes and reading interventions. I've been here for 2 years. I used to teach out in North Carolina high school. I started my career in education because my teacher saved my life, basically, in high school. And I wanted to pass that hope on to another generation of students who I could tell them you can survive so many things, like it does get better, and you can get out of that pit of poverty by working hard. If I could have another job, any other job, it would be a school psychologist or a forensic psychologist. Just because I've seen such a huge need for that, especially teaching and special education. I've seen such a huge need for school psychologists and what a big impact they can have in students being able to succeed in school. And we have a really high shortage of them right now. Kids are different now than 30 years ago, and they have a much less stable family environment. 30 years ago, there was a much higher rate of a standard, pretty formal, reliable nuclear family. And dinner at home was a thing. Parents were able to keep a much better tabs on their students. And that has made a significant difference in the levels of trauma that our students are dealing with now, and the follow-up at home, and sense of responsibility that students now don't really know what to do with. Teaching is different now than 30 years ago in that we are everything for a lot of these kids. I am the only stable adult in many of my students' lives. And so I am answering all kinds of questions that you wouldn't really expect to be dealing with as a teacher. There's a lot of social emotional learning that they aren't getting at home. And I have to integrate that into my classroom to help them deal with the traumas that they're dealing with from their home lives, which you wouldn't have had 30 years ago. What would I tell someone right now who's thinking about becoming a teacher? I would tell them that get a background in psychology, because it has been such an enormous help. And I hear the same thing from my teacher friends, to have that background in psychology, to understand how the mind works. Because our students today are not the same as the pedagogy that you've been taught. And one thing that I would change to help kids learn better, I would bring back books. I would bring back physical books instead of digital textbooks, because that physical book gives them information that feels more cement, whereas otherwise they're Googling everything. My school has one-on-one iPads, and the students are so distracted by having YouTube and SoundCloud and music access all the time, instead of ever letting their minds quiet and just read or just study from a book. Everything feels impermanent to them is what they've expressed to me. So that's it.